So I want to record another one of these. The last time I did this was about 1.5 years ago. That was around my birthday, my 19th birthday, January 18th, 2021. And today that was actually recorded January 14th, 2021. And this is obviously July 14th, 2022. And so it's actually been a while since I guess have updated about my life or thought about it that way. Well, I definitely thought about it, but I mean, it's definitely been a while since I've done this. And so I wanted to do just that. And I kind of wanted to go over basically what's happened from that point when, I was a freshman, going to his second semester, right about to join extracurriculars like Bose, starting to learn more about finance and business. And I guess at that time I had recently quit Salmon Run to now where I'm in a very different situation, a completely different situation that I don't think I could have ever imagined at this point. But I'm happy where I am, and I kind of wanted to just highlight some different things that have happened. And I guess like the way I think about life is very different. I'd say, I wake up every day and I kind of like do this notes list, and I kind of like hit this checkbox of like, am I doing things for money, love, mental health, physical health, learning, and socializing, and then am I giving back? And I guess, I mean, obviously I didn't come into this with a script, but I guess I want to just talk about each one of those points and, how my life has changed maybe since, that last time I recorded. And so I guess the biggest change that I have been in is, I guess when it comes to money. And when it comes to money, I really pushed myself to a career in investment banking. And I mean, it's been really rough. Not rough, I mean, there's been patches, but I'm happy where I am, and I'm trying not to compare myself. And so, I really bolstered my resume. I'm currently in an internship at ZT, and then, I'm doing a fall internship with the Search Investment Group. And so, I definitely have gotten some more work experience and kind of like built up work ethic. I guess I've also been in a job, an actual like real job compared to like working at Murphy's Deli, which is my dad's convenience store, being at SMU Cox Business Library and being a student assistant there, which I guess is my actual real first job. And, my outlook on money has really changed. I was fortunate enough to get into the ALT program, which focuses on, private equity, and I did that all last semester, or I guess the class is actually, it's more like a finance honors class that takes place my spring junior year. I should also mention I'm going to my junior year this upcoming semester, but I mean, taking a step back. So what am I trying to say? So this last semester, I interviewed a lot for that. I did over 40 mock interviews, I think, for that position. And, I in the position, I mean the class, and I got in, thankfully. Due to, mock interviews, GPA, thankfully, I'm lucky enough to have a 3.9 GPA, and hopefully it's only going to go higher. Really happy about that, but I guess, taking a step back, really, I guess the way I think about money is a little changed in that I think I'm a lot more frugal with it. I think that the last time I recorded this, I had kind of taken money for granted. I do think money is kind of a necessity, and as much as people want to combat me on that point, I just truly value money, and there's a few reasons why. The first is because I felt like I was raised to make money. I guess that sounds a little bit depressing, but for me, it gives me a sense of purpose because, I feel like I can be useful and feel like a weapon, which is how I basically view myself all in Salmon Run. So it's kind of like the next game of, this is the next chapter of my life, just like getting a job, investment banking, which, for those who don't know, if you're watching this somehow and you're not me, for some odd reason, Investment banking is like at least 80-hour work weeks. If you don't know, there's about 160 hours in a week. So basically half of your week, if not more, is essentially dedicated to work. And you make about 110 base salary. Of course, that's pre-tax. But, it can be up to, 150K with bonuses. And, that's an insane amount of money right out of college. It's a great learning experience, I think, which is why I want to go into it. However, the recruitment for investment banking has been going really rough. Thanks to the ALTA program, it's really pushed me to learn how to interview, learn technical skills, learn how to model, learn how to network, and learn how to answer behavioral questions like walk me through your resume. What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? Questions like those and how you think. And it's been a bit tough, the recruitment cycle. I think I've been through about 7 super days at this point, and unfortunately I haven't received an offer yet compared to my peers who have received offers in New York, San Francisco, even Houston, Dallas, really big cities, really great companies, but I haven't been able to land one, and I'm hoping that I will. If not for this upcoming summer internship that usually leads to full-time, then hopefully a full-time offer, because that's the worst case scenario, I guess, when it comes specifically to investment banking. But I really do want to pursue a career in investment banking, and it truly is for the money. But I guess on that same topic of money, this is kind of circular almost. I'm not really hitting a certain point, but I think money is really important to me, and I want to continue striving for money. I want to live the lifestyle I want. I would like to give back to the people who have given me so much. I'd like to give back to my parents and have enough money I can send them on trips and give them new cars and buy them new clothes, because that's what they've done for me, right? And I just want to do that. And as the oldest born son, I feel like it's my responsibility. I'd also like to pursue love, and I guess that's the next step, but next topic. But before I hit that point, kids are very expensive, relationships are expensive, traveling around the world is expensive, and I don't want to really be living paycheck to paycheck. I've been given so much. I feel like in my position, I just have to succeed when it comes to money. And I do think there's different forms of success, but specifically when it comes to success with money, that is just something I want to do, because I think money gives you the power to do really anything. And, of course, build a healthy relationship with money. Money is not the end all and be all, and I'm pretty aware of that. But it's definitely the key to the treasure chest, as I like to think about it. Because, without the key, you can't really do anything. You're kind of just I don't really know where I'm going with that, but definitely want to go for money. And, my cycle's been really hard. It's been taking a little bit of a mental toll on me, because I feel really behind compared to my peers. I feel like I've hit this wall. I'm going to keep trying to go for a career in investment banking. Definitely finance. I've been really enjoying being a finance major, despite, all my life wanting to go into science and pre-med and wanting to be a doctor. And so, honestly, I'm really happy where I am with my major. I'm going to continue pushing myself to network and gain more technical skills in finance, because I just really enjoy it and want to make money, which I think is everyone's goal. Being a business major. I guess on that second point, I talked about a little bit about love, and that's also the second point. I guess I wanted to highlight that. I don't really know. Okay, I guess I can put it this way. It might be better if I just highlight it this way. Around, I guess, September, I met this girl named Lorian. I kind of knew who she was, and, I really hit it off with her. I really admired things about her. She grew in the Philippines. She grew up in the Philippines, and she moved here when she was in 7th grade. And, she's very religious. She really is passionate about her art. And she's one of the sweetest people that I've ever met. And I was, very lucky enough to date her. I think I started dating her around, our first kiss was October 8th, 2021. I think 2020 was a great year because of that. But, I guess our anniversary that I like to call would be October 1st. And I guess I should give a disclaimer, she dumped me for good reasons I'll get into a bit later, but I do want to highlight kind of the way the relationship went, because I mean this video is made to basically, I don't know, when I'm older I'd like to go back and see what was really ailing me. Was I succeeding in what was I focusing on? Because I don't want to lose myself and I want to see my growth. I think that's what life is about. But okay, let's move a little bit forward and get back on track. And you know, I just really hit it off. I took her to Bows and Bow Ties, and I really enjoyed that. I, you know, was able to build a very emotional relationship. I know that a little bit into November, we basically said I love you, and you know, November 18th was a good day for me. I guess December 14th was a good day for me when it came to that relationship. Those were really important dates for me. And, you know, I just, for a while, I guess I couldn't think about anything but her. I basically like almost surrounded my future plans around her, you know, from wanting to move to stay in Texas with banking and, you know, wanting to be in an apartment with her and like planning around being president while she was RA, and how that would look in the future. But I mean, I did a lot of stuff in November and December that I'm not really proud of. I hurt friends. I definitely leaned towards my ego. And, you know, I couldn't really see it back then, but I definitely saw it come February when she dumped me. It felt kind of hesitant because, you know, we had like been together for the last few days, really close, and I hadn't really questioned anything. But I knew I was making her mad. Rather, I wasn't meeting her needs. I wasn't there for her emotionally. I was too busy. I was acting really toxic. I wasn't a good boyfriend. And you know, because of that, there was no room for growth for her. And, you know, I couldn't be the boyfriend I wanted to be. And because of that, I got dumped. And rightfully so. And I wholeheartedly support that decision. And that decision has led to a lot of tears, actually. More tears than I can count. I think I've definitely cried more because of the loss of that relationship than I've cried in the last maybe like 5 or 6 years, honestly. It was really tough. It is still tough today. I would say, like, you know, I really fell in love with her. I read her story growing up, why she, you know, when she was in high school, when she was a cheerleader, you know, hearing how she grew up, hearing how she's with her family, her likes, her dislikes, you know, being into video games, and then, you know, being really artsy. The presents she gave me, I even had it on my backpack still, but, which I don't know if I should, but, you know, I still have her Link and Zelda keychains, and I still have her Haikyuu drawing that she gave me for my birthday. And there's just so many moments I really reflect on that I miss. But I know that's the past, and I know I really messed up. And so, at this point, I really let go of wanting, I think I still do, how do I put this? I think I still do want to be with her in that sense. Sorry, there's a hair. Okay, so that was weird, but I mean, ignore that. Anyways, basically, I mean, I don't know, I'm so happy about this. This is definitely like something that's ailed me. It comes back to me. I'm in the shower, I wake up, like there are dreams I have about her, and like I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I remember around when right before we broke up, like I was talking on Twitter, you know, on my Twitter account, and I, you know, said some things I'm not really proud of. And she found out about those things, and I'm not really proud of it either, but, you know, I stopped using Twitter since then. I stopped posting about her. I definitely posted about her on my Instagram story a little bit as I was coping with the breakup. I was just such a huge mess, but then, you know, I saw her and she was really angry about me posting with her, and I don't do it anymore. I'd like to say that I've definitely grown a lot since that breakup. I think I've grown in numerous ways, like focusing on the process rather than the results, learning how to be empathetic to others, learning how to relinquish control, learning how to not argue, because we broke up because I had started an argument with her that was definitely not worth it. And I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of saying, I'm glad the breakup happened, because I would rather still be with her, I think. Is kind of what I'm getting at is, I think I've let go of her, but I haven't fully moved on. And I don't know when that will happen. I'm dating. I'm on dating apps. I'm on Hinge, on Bumble. I went on a few dates. I really enjoyed them. But it genuinely feels like I'm cheating on her, because all I do is think about her sometimes, and it hurts. I know I'm blocked on Instagram. I know that it is really awkward because, she'll be a resident assistant at Bose, and I am now president of Bose, and that is really difficult. It is really difficult, because I had built up this whole fantasy life of how we would be when we were both in these positions, and it's basically not true anymore. And I just really feel this longing towards her, but I know that it just won't happen again. It's over, and life is not a fairy tale. And I kind of accepted that. And I don't think she'll ever reach out again, but I do really miss her. I would do it all over again. But I've generally learned a lot from this breakup, and I am glad we broke up, because if we had not, I would never have learned my lessons when it comes to ego, when it comes to pride, when it comes to helping others, dealing with others, all the nuances with that. Being me, and finding myself and finding how to grow. Because I think that's what life is about, and I'm glad I have that reminder. And I know the best is yet to come, but it definitely still hurts, and I just kind of want to highlight that, because Lauren was a big part of my life. And while I do want to continue being in her life, whether it's her birthday, or celebrating Christmas with her, or wanting to visit the Philippines with her, I wanted to do that. I genuinely fell in love with someone, and it hurts, but I will come out stronger because of it, and I kind of just have to remember that. There's no use reflecting on the past when there's so much to be grateful for in the present. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I say the last few months, I've definitely been out of the relationship more than I've been in the relationship. This is a little bit weird, but I'm moving on every day, and one day I will wake up, and I'm sure it'll still be painful, but I think I'll grow around the pain, become a better person, and who knows what's to come. Maybe I find the love of my life in the next semester, or maybe we get back together, or maybe I just find that I'm okay by myself and I want to pursue that for a little. But that's basically how life has gone in that regard, and I'm going to continue pushing myself to date and enjoy life, because I know with a career in investment banking I don't really have that, but I can't help but mourn for something that I wish I had. But I am very glad nonetheless that I was able to gain the skills to be a better Samit, and be a better son, be a better student, be a better leader, and hopefully one day be a better boyfriend. But enough about that. Let's definitely talk about Bose, because let's talk about leadership a little, because things have really changed too. Since the time I recorded that, I was a director of integrity in Bose, and since then I was able to gain positions in being the Bose president, by joining program council, which I joined, I guess. I was in program council at the time, but I joined an associate member, and then which is the very bottom, and then I just as last semester became vice president of programming, which is a huge jump given that the middle is exec, and I basically skipped exec. I was very qualified given my programming skills from Bose. Not only that, but South Asian Student Association, I was the vice president of communications. They had a vacancy in the summer around a year ago, and I joined under Surya. I couldn't be more happier with my experience. I think it's allowed me to really connect back to my culture and plan big events like Diwali that I'm just extremely happy for SMU and for other grad students like myself. But I've really done a lot. I'm obviously involved with the Private Equity Venture Capital Club with Jude and Whitney, and what else? I was a Caswell Leadership Fellow all last year, and I will be a Caswell Leadership Coach this upcoming semester, along with continuing Bose Presidency, Program Council Vice Presidency of Programming. And I definitely learned a lot more about leadership than I did before, focusing more on the people part of things rather than the administrative, because my roles are more managing others and leading others rather than doing the actual work yourself. And I've learned a lot. I am truly grateful, but I will highlight, so I'll talk about Program Council. Program Council was a lot of fun because, I'm able to do the things creatively, and I think I'm in a really neat team. I really enjoy being a part of this team. I feel no malice towards anyone. And I really enjoy it. But it will end this coming semester. Still really happy. I'm also going to take a sip of water because I have been talking for 20 minutes. Okay. Bose, on the other hand, has been a big stressor, and I will start in November. In November, I became president, or the newly elected president. I was the only candidate who actually ran. Take it as you will, but I promised a good friend, one of my best friends, Colby, that I would pick her as vice president. And when interviews hit, I interviewed, and I did not pick Colby as my vice president, and that created a lot of drama. It took a really big hit on Lorian's mental health, of course, because all she had to do was support me, and I was just a mess because I knew the guilt came from the mistake. And it hurt. It honestly hurt. I was under a lot of pressure, but it's not really an excuse. Having to deal with a new RCD, having to transition to a new FER, those things are very stressful. I definitely damaged a relationship I had with Jake, who was the former Bose president before me, and it still hurts. I made a lot of mistakes with that, and they took a toll on my romantic relationship. And I think if I hadn't made those mistakes, I'd still be in it, maybe not, probably. But what I'm trying to get at is it's been an extremely hard job. Bose presidency is probably the role that has pushed me to one of the bigger things in life that has pushed me to my limits. And it's for a couple of reasons. One is that, there's all these leadership transitionings happening in Relish, the resident life and student housing, that is really hard. And then, having to deal with a new team when you feel so experienced, having to really be in a present position where you're managing others and really helping them rather than doing the grunt work of it all. So you're kind of just very invested in others. And I didn't really know that before joining the position. And it's really difficult in its own way, not in terms of time, but rather stress. I basically work in the same building I live in. I'm not really paid for it. It is extremely difficult because of that. I've been pulled into rooms, I've been called an asshole for choices I was confident in. I know a lot of my exec members have, conversed privately. I know they don't hold some of the best opinions about me and my choices on leadership. I've definitely had to innovate and kind of appeal to the masses based on how people are feeling and how the sophomores felt last semester. It took a really big toll on my mental health. I'm really excited to still be Bose president, but it's come with its own challenges. And like I said, my ex will become an RA, and that will really hurt because I basically became president to become an RA. So I guess the RA dream is essentially over. I thought that by being president, I guess I can give a little bit of more understanding on this. Around May 1st on BLT Boat Day, Madison had mentioned that I should be the next president. I was really confused. We talked about it. About a week later, I decided I wanted to be president because of all the skills I could learn to take me to the next step in leadership. But I thought I was doing that to become an RA in the future. Yeah, these skills that I would learn would help me become an RA. was only a year later, on May 2nd, 2022, that I learned that Madison didn't necessarily mean that the skills we gained from president would help in RA. She described it kind of as, you, Simi, are already capable of being an RA. And that kind of changed my view of presidency, the way I thought about it. It's been 2.5 months since that conversation anyways, but I've definitely felt like I was a little bit duped in a way by myself, thinking like, oh, once I have this, I will become happy, when it's giving me so much sadness and stress and pressure of Commons Cup. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have complained to friends, complained to my parents, complained to Relish how much I wanted to quit being Bose president. It's taking a big toll. I constantly feel in the eye of everyone. There are people in other classes who will hear, oh my god, you're Bose president. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And, I constantly have to be on my game, trying not to argue. It's a really hard position that I didn't know was so hard, and I regret so much. But I have also grown because of it. I have learned skills that I am truly grateful for, that I think will help in other leadership teams, both from a job perspective and also extracurricular perspective. It's a little bit like being a parent, because I can't really turn it off. I also live in the same building I work in, so 1 a.m. hits and I want to go to sleep, but oh well, you have something that comes up, either with your team or this assignment. I stayed up till 3 a.m. just making graphics for this Bose barbecue event that happened in April. It's really difficult, but I have a love-hate relationship with Bose. I don't really know what'll happen. I'm going to see my semester towards the end and really, make the mark on the freshmen the same way I was really supported as a freshman. But it was really hard. It was extremely hard, and this semester will still be hard, especially with Lorian, especially with so many things at stake. It's not the end of the world. If people see me as a bad president, oh well. But it's an experience I'm thankful for nonetheless, and I would not trade for the world. It's given me so much, and I just want to say I'm thankful for it, for both the ups and the downs. But I also can't wait until I'm not president. It's just a love-hate relationship. And Bose was something I wanted to stay in as an RA, but with Lorian now becoming an RA in the place that I loved most, I think that it would be best that if this was my last semester in Bose, who knows, maybe in the next video I'm somehow an RA, but who knows. From the last video, there's no way I could ever have imagined being in this position that I'm currently in. Position meaning, how my life has gone so far. So who knows? Maybe things will change. You just never know. I think that's how I've been taught about life, and life is also about growth. And I'm trying not to be too hard on myself for the mistakes I have, with my teams, especially with Bose. I will see my presidency towards the end, and confidently say I did my best, even if people believe that I was, one of the worst presidents in Bose history. I guess I can lead that into, leadership is great. I really enjoy it. I don't really know what's in stake for me, in store for me in the future, but, I think it's over with Bose, unfortunately. I really love Bose, but things have changed so much. I don't know if it would be the best decision for my own life, but I will see through. Kind of sounding like a broken record, so let's go to what I wanted to, and that is mental health. Obviously, with money, love, Bose, extracurriculars, internships, job applications, uncertainty, it's bound to take a toll on my mental health. But I do try to really push myself to gain a sense of self with my mental health. Having self-esteem, not comparing myself to others, trusting the journey, and being grateful. These are habits I'm still constantly putting into play taking walks. I'd like to pursue a little bit more religion. I guess this last semester I've definitely been to church, I think 3 or 4 times. I know I'm a Muslim. I thought I was atheist for so long, but then after dating Lorian, I'll say that I think I'm definitely somewhat religious, at least. But I truly am grateful. I don't really know what to highlight with this mental health aspect. I mean, I just focus on it every day because, comparing, it's so easy to, spiral into depression, dopamine hits, grades, stress. But I really try to focus on mental health and taking a break, which I didn't do last semester, fall 2021. I really pushed myself to do it in spring. This last semester. And I really enjoyed it. I guess I can talk a little bit about being grateful. I wanted to highlight, actually, better to go into this, socializing. Socializing is another aspect I like to focus on. I really, since breaking up, I realized the power of friends, not only from a banking perspective, obviously, because networking is just super good to do, and you should do it. It's good to have mentors, and, Madison, Megan, Luke, these are all great mentors for me who I know I can go for advice, especially the upperclassmen. Devin and Peter are really helpful. But I kind of just want to say I'm really grateful for the friends I have, the friends who I can constantly go to for advice, go to have fun. Just this last weekend, I just flew to Dallas and I saw Keely, I saw Ashish, I saw Juan, I saw Cindy, I saw Antoine, I saw some other friends, I saw Deepu, I saw Drishti, I saw, the next day I saw Ben, I saw Tulsi, and I saw Colby, I saw Colby's sister Reed, and I really enjoyed it because it reminded me of stuff. Colby I've been really good friends with. She was basically like my best friend, but I really hurt her by not picking her as my vice president, by breaking promises. I think I've definitely have really realized how lucky I am to continue having a friend in Colby, despite all that I've done to hurt her. And I am more than happy with where I am. Same thing with Tulsi. I met Tulsi with Colby around 11 months ago, and just seeing his journey, seeing the challenges he's had to go through, seeing how much he comforts me and can not only make me laugh, but also just remind me of things. I'm really grateful for that. There's also Ryan, who is my vice president, who I picked instead of Colby. I think I've definitely grown closer to Ryan. Our relationship isn't as emotional, I'd say, but it's definitely one where I feel like I can go to him for any kind of advice, and just being a bro. I really enjoyed it, seeing his perspective and seeing how he grows. I'm excited to see what he'll do. And I definitely know that if I ever want to hang out, I'll definitely have a friend in him. On that same note, there's also Ben, who, like me, was studying for the alt class, was able to get into Goldman Sachs, which is very prestigious, but, I only say Ben, there's also Jude, who has also helped me on this alts program and constantly helps me interviewing. And I say this because I can definitely tell them they're my friends. They help me with so much when it comes to finance, when it comes to alts, when it comes to all the stress of daily life. I just could not imagine my life without them. I'm truly grateful for what they've given me. And despite all the heartbreak and all the hurt and all the friends that I've lost, I know that I have friends in them, and I am so excited to see where they'll go. And I wish I could give them so much more than I am now, because they help me despite no benefit to them. And I'm going to push myself to really give back. There's also Ashish and Delaney, who have put me, really helped me out when it comes to mentally, when it comes to Bose, when it comes to Lorian, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to daily stresses. I've really enjoyed it. And same thing with Emery, even though we're not that close anymore, because I'm distancing myself, given that he's an RA and he'll be on the same team as Lorian. It is really hard because a lot of the people I've already mentioned are good friends of my ex, but I try not to be too how do I put it? I don't want to let it stop me from having a friendship with them. It does make me a little uncomfortable, but that's my own personal issue that I will keep to myself. But anyways, I guess one friend that I really wanted to highlight that I truly consider one of my best friends and feel like I can relate to most is Keely. I met her in April during a Bose event that I planned, Earth Day, which she planned when she was a junior. She recently just graduated, and I really love her. She is, I don't know, just a sweetheart to me. We really hit it off in the beginning of school, and I guess like 2 weeks later, I basically confessed I had feelings for her. But I realized those weren't really feelings, like romantic feelings. It was only later, a bit, when I first started dating Lorian, and as we and Keely got closer. One, I'll say I'm extremely grateful for Keely's friendship, because even though I confessed my feelings to her, and most girls would say I would end the friendship right there, she didn't do that. She, kept being friends with me, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. And just this last weekend, I was able to spend a lot of time with her, hearing, how her life is going post-graduation, talking about dating life, talking about going to the museum, grabbing ice cream. I just truly feel like have a friend in Keely that I don't ever want to stop. I'd say it's a friendship very close to friendships like Mohammed Tanis, like Marty. I just feel like I don't want this one to end. I really don't want it to end. I have gained so much by being Keely's friend. She helps me grow every day. She helps me understand that it's okay to think the way I think when it comes to competition and achievements and results. She's constantly there for me. I truly feel like it's one of the hardcore, like, platonic relationships I've ever been in, where I can truly feel like, even though she's the opposite sex, she reminds me of CL a little. And she just helps me so much, and I have so many friends. I just have to keep remembering. Like, there's Lauren, who I just FaceTimed yesterday. I really enjoy talking to Lauren. She's really helped me understand, that I am attractive, and I should be proud of who I am, and proud of alts, and proud of all this. I think it is really hard to so much stuff has happened, like not getting a job, having your relationship fail, having stress of other students, comparing yourself to others. But I think being with these friends have definitely brought a lot of fun into my life, and I'm just more grateful than I ever could be for that, and I never want that to stop. I really took my friends for granted, but I really wanted to take my friends more seriously and keep it going. I just really love them, and I'm going to keep spending time with them and make time for them. It'll be really hard through banking, whatever job I take, because the hours will change. I'll leave college one day. But these are people who I really admire, who I really love, and want to be friends with for a very long time. I really just name dropped a bunch of people. There's so many other people that I could not be more grateful for. One is Igor, who's my roommate, who we didn't have the best relationship. Nevertheless, I truly enjoy the friendship that we made over time. There's Jake also, who I really hurt, and I feel really guilty about. But I know he believes in me. And that's basically it. That's basically it, right? There are times where I don't believe in myself, and times where I am hurting. But I believe in them, and I know they believe in me, so I choose to believe in I choose to believe in the them that believes in me. And through that I'm able to really stand not by myself, with others, and feel like I can stand by myself. I'm just truly grateful for my friends, and I wish I could give more. I hope it never ends. I know some friendships will inevitably end due to, constantly changing, constantly growing, shifting priorities. But I really love my friends. I would not have that any other way. And I'm so grateful for that. Okay, what else? What else is there to highlight? I don't really know. I guess I'm like really trying to focus on mental health. I mean, there's my camera right here, and I'm just gonna continue focusing on mental health and taking walks, being more frugal in my lifestyle, whether that's like walking to Kroger to grab groceries instead of at the dining hall, being really cognizant of the money I spend since the money is not free, and things have really changed financially, priorities. But I don't know. I believe that the best is yet to come. That's what Keely really taught me. And I'm not just saying that because I have a big black bar that she handed me for my birthday that I proudly display on my window and will take with me to my next Bose dorm room. But I really enjoyed seeing what's to come. I think that a lot of insecurity comes from always being in this process. Like, when it comes to money, I'm in a process of hopefully going to make money. When it comes to love, I'm in a process that hopefully leads me to another relationship. When it comes to life, I'm in a process of growth, not ever being in this, perfect state of mind. When it comes to mental health, I'm always trying to build my mental health. And maintain it, through art, through creativity, through talking with others, through, learning. And when it comes to even learning, I'm in a constant state of learning, not having learned. There's always something new to learn. So when you think about it that way, it definitely makes me a little bit insecure. And constantly makes me feel like I'm not good enough. But I think I really realized with that, like, life is more about being grateful in a constant state of growth rather than some quota to hit. It's also about just constant growth. You can see it from this video compared to the last video from January 2021, from now July 2022. How many things have changed? What is currently on my mind? What is ailing me? What is, really hurting me? What is the one things lifting me up? And so it's just really good to just remember that, because life is, take it day by day and take life by the horns. It's just really important to do that. And I really remember that. I'm really grateful for what this year has given me. I don't know what else. I talked about school. I talked about money. I talked about love. I talked about things. I talked about things that are currently ailing me, things that I'm reflecting on. I just hope I can do good. People have given me so much, and I'm sure I will, but it's just a constant process, and it'll happen. I don't know. I'm gonna hope to record more of these videos, probably not monthly, maybe semesterly. I guess it'd be good to highlight some goals that I'm really feeling. I guess the first would be making money, of course, being in a high-paying job where I can gain technical skills that I'm proud of and can, continue learning about finance. I think the second one would be finding love and pursuing dates and, really joining that part of my life, or indulging myself in that part of my life. Because with being with Lorian has really taught me that, Jennifer was not the end-all be-all. I'm hoping Lorian will also not be the end-all be-all. While I do still really love her, I know I do have to let go. And I will find someone else who may be a better fit. And I know that Lorian will also find someone who she will really love if she already hasn't. And that hurts a little, but it's all bittersweet. It's really all bittersweet, and that's something to look forward to. I guess third, I don't know, I guess I really wish I was with Lorian, but I know life is not a fairy tale. And who knows, maybe I won't say that statement next video. Maybe I'll find someone else. So it's good to really reflect on. I guess the third is, I don't know, focusing on my mental health, maybe. Just continuing that, whether it's through art, through photography, through reflection and meditating and reading, continuing to learn, pursuing mental health, no more dopamine shots of like social media, all the porn in the world. And what's the point? Just keep focusing on myself and remember that my journey is my journey. And remembering that I'm happy where I am, because I truly am happy where I am. I'm truly grateful for what I've been given, truly happy for where I am. Because if I wasn't happy right now, that means I'll never be happy. So I really am happy where I'm right now. I'm really, really lucky to be in the positions, in the state of mind that I currently am in. I guess another goal would be maintaining the growth, the flexible, the abundance mindset. I think those are great mindsets to have. To constantly push myself to keep learning and not really care what anyone else thinks. With moderation, of course, but just learning how to communicate, learning how to be a good human being, learning how to be a good friend, learning how to be a good son, learning how to be a good leader. I think things will be better. I'm hoping they will. But I really enjoyed life so far. I think there's so many great things to come. I would not have it any other way. I'm just glad where I am. And there will continue to be hard times, but the best is yet to come. There's gonna be tons of mountains I will continue climbing. I'll continue surpassing. And even through tears, I know there are laughs. And even through sadness, I know there's happiness. So, with that said, honestly, thank you for listening. Whoever you are, whether you are Samit in another 1.5 years, whether you are a stranger on the internet, whether you are my friend, whether you know me personally, or whether we're not friends anymore, as in like you're a long lost friend, maybe, who knows. Thank you for listening. It's definitely been a really tough. 2021 was great. 2022 has been pretty bad. But it's always been ups and downs, and I'm truly grateful where I am. And, I hope future Samit, if you are listening, know that you have me to rely on. Know you have like the previous Samits to rely on. Because, you have you at the end of the day, and you do have friends, of course, and other things to rely on. Always ask for help, but at the end of the day, no matter what, you have yourself, and that is really important to remember, because you are not your greatest enemy, you are your greatest friend. Something to look forward to, so look forward to it, look forward to life, grab life by the horns, and just keep going. I believe in you. I truly do believe in you.